it has led to 6 straight losses. The Giants of Ray Handley have strained under the burden of carrying the torch of Super Bowl champions and only recently have displayed the traits of making another title run. The Redskins present to them a most serious threat, for if the Giants are to challenge in the NFC East, the time is now to turn up the heat. Redskins are now the National Football League's only unbeaten team. With Dallas losing this afternoon, there's an opening for the Giants, but they are 3 full games behind the Redskins. And if they don't win tonight, they can forget about winning the NFC East. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick, and it's great to have you with us for our 5th year of NFL coverage. The Washington Redskins have become the dominant team in the National Football League. They have a high-scoring offense, a suffocating defense, and game-breaking special teams. And tonight, they will try to go 8-0 for the first time in the history of this storied franchise. The New York Giants, though, have won the last 6 meetings between these two teams, and it's been since 1983 that the Washington Redskins have won here at the Meadowlands, and my partner, Joe Theismann, was the last man to engineer that kind of victory. It was a long time ago.
Doesn't seem like that long ago, Mike, but you really set the tone. You've talked about the 3 phases of the game that have been outstanding for the Redskins, but tonight the Giants are going to try and shut down the Redskin running game. And if they're going to try and do that, the burden of victory is going to fall on one man's shoulders. That's Mark Rypien. The big thing about Mark is he's finally been healthy this year. He's played in 7 straight games. He told us last night it's the longest stretch he's had since he's either been benched or hurt. He's going to have to raise his level of play. He's played well, but if he wants a victory tonight for his football team, it's going to have to be a championship level of play.
The New York Giants, for the first time this year, are on a 2-game winning streak. But the jury is still out on this team with a new coach and a new quarterback. We may get a verdict tonight.
Not only will we get a verdict, but I believe the New York Giants will get a verdict. This is a must-win football game for them. They cannot afford to go out and lose a 23-20 hard-fought game to the Redskins. They must win. They need it from a confidence factor. You look for them to run the football. Why? Because that's what they do. They run the football. And also look for them to complete short passes to give Hostetler an opportunity to get his confidence up. But after having spent 2 days in this city around the Giant football team, I noticed one big thing. They need an infusion of confidence. A victory over the Redskins would give them just that.
Joe, and Ray Handley wants nothing more in his first year as the successor to Bill Parcells, looking to continue this club's domination of the Redskins. And Joe Gibbs, now in his 11th year, firmly entrenched among the coaching elite in the NFL. Now he wants to find out how to beat the New York Giants. Giants have won the toss. They have elected to receive. And Chilo Miller will tee it up at the 35-yard line. A change on special teams for the Giants. Rodney Hampton and Mark Ingram are back to receive. Dave Meggett may or may not play tonight. He has a bad heel. And a huge part of the special teams for this club may be missing for the New York Giants. Low Miller, nearly half the time he has kicked off this year, 19 of 48. There has been no run back. He's put them in the end zone. And again, a couple of yards deep, and Ingram will leave it there. And now for tonight's McLean Deluxe starting lineups. Jeff Hostetler has been the starting quarterback all year. The hero of last year's playoff run has only 4 touchdown passes, but he's completing 65%, number 1 in the conference. The Giants will try to control the ball with Rodney Hampton. He's gained 444 yards, despite playing only 5 of the first 7. Up front, the Giants rely on drive blocking at 6'7", 305. John Elliott is their best. Jumbo is capable of burying defenders. Hampton, first carry, straight up the middle, gets 5 and maybe a little more. There's a flag down on the play. And it will go against the New York Giants.
The Giants have started, Mike, the way they've wanted to start, running the football.
Holding, number 65, offense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And that 7-year veteran Bart Oates called for the hold.
The Giants are a football team that everything revolves off the running game. If they can run the football, they can control the tempo of the game. Even though it's first and long, still look for them to come out pounding.
Giants one of the best rushing teams in the league. Number 2 coming in. The Redskins one of the better teams against the run. Hostetler to throw his first pass. Throws complete to Zeke Moe at the tight end out at the 16-yard line. The Redskins have been surprisingly strong on defense. One reason, Charles Mann is back from an injury-plagued season, and he's tied for the NFL lead in sacks. Wilbur Marshall is having his best year as a Redskin. Second on the team in tackles, 4 interceptions for the former Chicago Bear Pro Bowler. Darrell Green is the key to the secondary. Still has blazing speed, and last year received more Pro Bowl votes than anyone at his position. Second down, 14 yards to go. Carthon and Hampton are the backs behind Hostetler. Carthon in motion. 4-man rush. Hostetler with time. Dumps it off. Hampton. And Martin Mayhew quickly up from the corner to make the tackle out at the 22-23-yard line.
That's a nice play by Mayhew. As a matter of fact, one of the things when the Redskins got him a couple years ago, they were really impressed with the fact that this young man was a good tackler, and he just showed that in the open field. The Redskin defense, very similar to their offense. They'll substitute a lot. They'll show a lot of looks. They call them packages. Linebackers will be substituted. Defensive people will be substituted, as well as people up front. So they just sort of rotate people in, looking for the best possible matchup defensively on the Giants' offense.
Dave Meggett into the game on 3rd and 7. Hostetler drops it off, complete to Baker. Midfield, he's got a chance. Mayhew missed him at the 30. On 2nd and 4. Hampton tries to get outside. Cuts back. Well, he'll get a couple. And the free safety, Brad Edwards, comes up to make the tackle.
Ray Hanley, what he's looking at is his game plan. And what he does, Mike, like Bill Walsh used to do, he scripts plays. Mike Holmgren with the San Francisco 49ers, the offensive coordinator, does the same thing. He'll write down by scripting it the first 15 or 20 plays that he expects to call. I'm sure the big pass play that got him into the first down position in the red area, he just moved down to the next first down play he wanted. He wanted a first down run. He called it. He's right in sequence at this juncture.
First half doesn't have worked pretty well. 3rd and 2. Carthon, first down. To the 10, a flag goes down in the secondary. Kurt Govea made the tackle along with Mayhew and Edwards. They have opened some big holes in that Redskin defensive line, and the Redskins will be called for the penalty.
Illegal substitution foul. 12 men on the field. Defense. Penalty decline. First down.
We've seen that a lot this year.
I know. I have too. Watch the play. Watch these guys fire out. Man on man, they create a hole for him to come through on the right side of your screen. Good push by the offensive line. He just goes outside, jumpy gathers, manages to pick up the first down.
First and goal, spotted just outside the 9-yard line. The Giants only averaging 16.8 points a game. Touchdowns have not come easy for them. Hampton behind Carthon to the 5. And they're getting a lot of movement on the line, Joe.
Well, you know where they are. They're going behind Big Jumbo Elliott at 6'7", 305, and William Roberts, the left guard, who's at 6'5" and 280. And it's a bit of a mismatch because Fred Stokes is just not that big, who plays the right defensive end. He's only about 265, 270.
Ball spotted just outside the 6-yard line, and the Giants below average in the NFL this year, inside the 20, only 42%. Hostetler has Carthon in the flat, got it to him, but an outstanding defensive play brings him down at the 5-yard line. Danny Copeland, who has been a significant addition to the Redskins defense, picked him up on Plan B from Kansas City, filling in for the injured Alvin Walton, who may not get his job back.
Well, they really picked him up as a special team player, but he's had to fill in at strong side safety. Hostetler just looks and makes the positive throw. This is the one thing I've seen the Giants do in this early drive, is take the good positive throws. Nice blocking by the offensive line. Take the short completion.
Third and goal from the 5. Both Baker and Ingram to the near side. Hostetler looks that way, throws off the fingertips of Hampton. So the Giants, after an impressive opening drive, are going to send out the field goal team. And this may be an adventure in itself because Matt Barr has just been put on injured reserve tonight, and Raul Alegre, the former Giant kicker, is now back in his familiar number 2, and he will kick field goals and points after.
And he has been here since Thursday. When I was in the stadium walking around Thursday, he was out trying out, and Ray Hanley made the decision to go with him tonight.
It will be a 23-yard attempt. And Alegre is true. And the New York Giants have taken a 3-0 lead over the Washington Redskins. We'll be back to the Meadowlands in a minute. It's only the third time this year that the New York Giants have scored on their opening possession. They lead 3-0, and Raul Alegre will kick out to the very dangerous Brian Mitchell and Ricky Irvin. Mitchell from the 3. Redskins special teams have been terrific this year. There's a flag down as Mitchell goes down at the 28-yard line. Abrams made the tackle on the Giants special team.
That flag's going to be on Kurt Govea, number 54, who had Adrian White, number 36, right in the middle of the back.
Keep in mind the Giants are without Renee Thompson.
Illegal block. Number 54 on the return. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
There's White, number 36, coming down. Now, you know what this is? There's the shot dead in the back. What this is Govea underestimated White's speed. He thought he had an angle, and he really didn't.
So the Redskins forced to take over at their own 9. Finer, the single setback. Finer gets the carry. Got by Dorsey and got it out to the 14-yard line. Washington quarterback Mark Rippon. The Redskins have wanted consistency from him. This year he's produced. He is the number 4 rated passer in the NFL. He's surrounded by potent weapons, including Art Monk, who is about a year away from becoming the leading receiver in the history of the NFL. The Skins are also the number 1 rushing team in the game, and All-Pro Jim Lachey anchors the line. Last year, he was the NFC Offensive Lineman of the Year. 2nd and 5 after Biner got 5 on first down. Biner again on the delay. Tries to cut it outside. Taylor is there. A flag is down, and Taylor may have been held on the play as well. Lawrence Taylor, 2 weeks ago, the last time they played, said he played the worst quarter and a half of his life. Pittsburgh burned him on deep draw plays. That time, he was there.
You know, it's terrible to have to play Lawrence after he realizes he hasn't played well.
Holding number 87, offense. Half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
The tight end Ron Middleton, who was on that side.
Well, what they want to do is Lawrence basically lines up on the right side of the defense. Now they put Middleton over there to give him a bigger corner to come around. LT gets outside of him. You see, look at his left hand. You can't. Oh, look at his right hand. Look at either hand. He's holding on with both hands.
So now it is 2nd and 11 back at the 8-yard line. Biner again. Wrapped up in the backfield. Hit immediately by John Washington.
John Washington playing over the middle. You see him on the left side. He slid off to the right. He just beats Raleigh McKenzie hard on the inside. Again, it looks like the Giant special teams guys are moving a little quicker than the Redskins are anticipating. There we saw Washington take the hard inside on McKenzie, moving a little bit quicker than he anticipated.
Redskins one of the best in 3rd and long situations, although they have not had that many this year. 3rd and 15 here. Giant fans on their feet. Biner again. Slips at the 3. Covered by Banks. Joe Theismann, as a former Redskin, does this remind you of anything?
Bad memories. You know, and I'll tell you, it's amazing. The end zones, it's even louder and harder to communicate, and that's where the Redskins are. Either one of these end zones are very loud.
Meggett is in the game, waiting at the Redskin 48 for Kelly Goodburn's punt. They try to set up the return. Nice, high, floating spiral. Meggett at the 49. Ran into his own man and dropped at the 40. A 9-yard return after a 45-yard punt. So the Giants, ahead 3-0, are in Redskin territory again. 5:41 to go in the quarter. 3-0 Giants.
Al Groh, the man, you just barely see his head in between Marshall and Washington. The defensive coordinator who's taken over for Billy Belichick. There he is talking to his frontline guys. See, the guys that are playing don't have their helmets on. The guys that are playing have their hats on. So you know who's in the game. He's that way. Here's Jim Hansen talking to his offensive line. A lot of early adjustments in this game. They've got to get together and figure out what's going on.
Hampton, the setback, 1st and 10. Giants at the Redskins 40. Hampton, as they try to pound it out again, and there has been massive holes up the middle. Hampton for 13 yards. Danny Copeland, the strong safety, had to make the tackle.
The explosion of this Giant offensive line. Watch what's going to happen. Here's where they get that creation. You see the natural hole. Hampton's just going to fire on up inside. Good turnout blocks. There's the crater. Take them where they want to go. You're not going to bring Hampton down with one hand.
Hostetler draw to Hampton. More room. Scrambles forward to the 20-yard line. Joe, they are taking both of the Redskin tackles and moving them out, and they're getting to the middle linebacker, Matt Miller.
That's a big thing. When you play a 4-3 defense, you have to keep the guards off of the middle linebacker. If they can get through and get to the middle linebacker, you have nobody as a secondary support group until you get to the secondary 8 or 9 yards down the field.
Hampton already 5 carries, 31 yards.
Richie Pettibone, the headmaster, Redskin assistant head coach of the defense, done a great job for the 11 years that Phil Gibbs has been there.
2nd and 2, 2 tight end formation. Hampton with another first down and more and he's inside the 15 to the 13, first down. Charles Mann tripped him up from behind. The number 2 rushing attack in the NFL is doing its job in the first period.
And their 1-2 punch on the left side, Elliott and Roberts, firing out, creating a hole. And you see Tim Johnson trying to jump over and make the tackle and still can't get there.
First and 10, Giants already up 3-0, bidding for more. Hampton got it outside, away from Marshall to the 5.
You know what you have to be leery of, Mike, down in this territory now? Jeff Hostetler is a very mobile quarterback. What he can do is with the running game working, it sets up a bootleg or a play-action pass that could be wide open for the Giants.
This is the biggest confidence builder in the world for an offense and the biggest deflator for a defense, because it's, here we come, boys.
Just line up and we're coming at you.
2nd and 2. 2 tight ends and Hampton in the backfield. Hampton looks like he has the first down. Had to get just inside the 3-yard line.
Total yards so far in this quarter, Washington 1. The Giants 122. And one big pass play, but everything else has been on the ground.
And this is against the 3rd-rated defense in the National Football League. First and goal. Hampton and Carson in the backfield. Hampton. Touchdown.
You don't even have to look where the ball goes. You can see the fire out. See how the Giants get under the Redskins? They really don't get a lot of penetration. Great extra effort and leg drive by Hampton to put it in the end zone. Coming right at you. They're underneath. Giant players got underneath the Redskins, get them up in the air. You can't make one-handed tackles down around the goal line.
And now apparently instant replay is going to take a look at the goal line and see if he did cross it. That would be the 5th rushing touchdown of the year for Hampton. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that last drive. 6 straight Hampton carries.
He's their guy. Here he goes up the middle. You can tell. The question is, does his knee hit the ground right there before the ball crosses? Got to be on. I think he might be down.
I think he's short by about the length of a football.
You'll see it about the length of football. That right knee hit the ground.
That's where the decision will be made.
Dave Kosmanski studying it very closely. What he's going to be looking at on this particular replay, there you see a finger come in and say, oh, I think that might have been it. Watch his right knee right there. Watch it go down to the ground, and the ball should be spotted right about there. There it is right there. Ball is right here, so look for it about 6 inches from the goal line.
So it would be 2nd and about the length of a football if that replay is convincing enough evidence. What has to be going through Joe Gibbs' mind right now with this streak? He's lost 9 of 10 regular season games, 6 in a row. Is he thinking, oh, come on, we're 7-0, we're the only undefeated team in the league, and here they go again?
That thought hasn't even crossed Joe's mind.
On the play, the runner was ruled down on the 1-foot line.
Okay,
It'll be 2nd down, goal to goal from the 1-foot line.
So it wasn't 6 inches, it was 12 inches. But you understand.
And that is a good call from the instant replay booth. The knee is down.
You see that right knee right there. That's what's on the ground. The ball's not in the end zone. The ball must break the plane before the ball carrier's knee hits the ground.
2nd and goal. You wouldn't want to bet Hampton will get it for a 7th straight time, would you? 7 in a row. Dive. Didn't make it. What a defensive charge by the Redskins. Copeland fired through there, and Matt Millen, too.
Great penetration. That was the difference in what looked like the play before. We saw the Giant offensive line fire out. Now watch the penetration. Left part of your screen. Here comes Millen filling in. Makes the initial contact. Copeland's there as well.
Now this becomes a huge play. They lost about a half a yard, and the ball marked back at the 1.
This is where you got to keep an eye on Hostetler. He's such a mobile quarterback.
Hampton dive. Touchdown.
They decided they couldn't go off the edge, so what they did is they took it right back where they've had a lot of success, right up the middle. Hampton gets up in the air and just slides on down the end zone. Watch this. Just over the left guard. They try to get him by his feet in the end zone, or in the backfield, couldn't do it.
His knee couldn't go down there. There were bodies under him. Allegre has the point after. And the New York Giants, who have been averaging 16.8 points a game, have 10 against the Redskins here in the first quarter. Most beautiful stadiums, tremendous fan reaction.
Broncos hung on today against New England, a very good football team.
Allegre. Mitchell from the 6. And even without Renee Thompson, the best cover man in the NFL, the Giants do a good job and wrap him up at the 27-yard line. 1:11 to go first quarter. It's 10-0 New York. Adrian White being assisted to a cart, and they're going to take him to the locker room where they have the X-ray facilities. White is a backup defensive back, hurt on that kickoff coverage, but he's the nickel man, so he is very important tonight. The Redskins take over at the 27-yard line. Finer the single setback. Finer tries to get outside, and LT is right there. Yeah, he's lost a step, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Over the hill and ready to go. Sure. There's the Giant defense. Injuries have hurt them up front, but Leonard Marshall is playing well. 4.5 sacks, equal to what he had all of last year. Expect a big night from LT. Said he was burned by draw plays in his last game. Wants everyone to know just how good he is. The secondary excels in the zone, and Everson Walls, with 52 career INTs, has hurt the Redskins before. 2nd and 14. Rippon dumps it to Middleton. Can't hold it.
I talked to Gary Reasons on Friday, one of the inside linebackers of the Giants. He said, you know, one thing nobody's done to the Redskins all this year is force them into bad yardage situations on offense. 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. That's exactly what this Giant defense is doing to the Redskin offense, making them pick up big yardage.
If you wonder why you would want to run to Lawrence Taylor's side, Carl Banks is on the other one.
Well, the other thing is Lawrence will chase everything down, too, so you may as well try and go at him.
Rippon has done a great job on 3rd down, but he faces 3rd and 14 here. A lot of time. Drops it off. Way shy of the first down. Sanders knocked down by Brown and Pepper Johnson. And the Skins will have to punt it away. Listen to the hands of the Giants defense. And that is the end of the first quarter. Totally dominated by New York. They lead the Redskins 10-0. For those of you eagerly anticipating Game 7 of the World Series, why not stay with us? We'll update you every half inning on what is going on between Atlanta and Minnesota.
And really, if you're going to watch the World Series, we're all interested as well, but nothing's going to happen until like the 8th, 9th, 10th inning, so stay with us. We'll all watch it together.
Right. It won't be over to 1 a.m. anyway. Kelly Goodburn to punt to Dave Meggett. Returnable kick. Drives him all the way back to the 20. Meggett knocked off his feet at the 34-yard line. 52-yard punt, 14-yard return. Every Sunday at noon, game day. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson will be there with you. And then at 7 o'clock, NFL primetime highlights of every game of the day. Then at 8 o'clock next week, Joe and I will be at Mile High Stadium in Denver as the Broncos host the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Denver back playing the kind of football they were 2 years ago.
I'm real interested to talk to John Elway and see what it's like calling your own plays. And this time and age.
Big series here, Joe.
Yeah, the Redskins have got to try and shut down this giant offense somehow.
Otis Anderson in for the first time at running back. And Hostetler to throw. Little changeup, dumps it to Anderson. Mayhew got a hand on him, and then the Redskins swarm. Andre Collins and Matt Millen get there. Otis Anderson, not the star back he once was. Now in a reserve role behind Hampton, and he accepts that very well.
Well, he not only accepts it, he instigated it. He went to Ray Hanley after Game 5 and said, listen, Coach, I know you want to do everything running back by committee, but Rodney Hampton is healthy. He can give our offense a lot more. Let me take a secondary role. Now, that's a team player.
Only the 8th player in NFL history to go over 10,000 yards. That was a gain of 1 on the pass. 2nd and 9. Anderson behind Carthon. Can still get it done, can't he? Out to the 40-yard line. Brad Edwards had to come up from his safety spot to make the tackle. 13 years in the league.
Number 84, Zeke Moat, was brought back to this Giant team claimed from New England because of his blocking ability. Now, there's Wilbur Marshall, who's really been put over on the right side to play over tight ends because they felt he would be more effective. That particular time, Moat got the best of him.
It will be 3rd and 4 for New York from its own 40-yard line. Handley said he wanted to improve third down efficiency this year. He has done it on both sides of the ball. Hostetler from the shotgun has protection. Throws Baker. What a catch. First down. I mean, Hostetler rifled that thing in there, and Baker took a pounding but held on.
Well, you can just see Jeff Hostetler's confidence grow with each start. I think it took him a few weeks to settle in and say, hey, look, I finally have a job. Look at him set and fire. He just sets and fires. Good lane created by the offensive line. Baker still didn't hit the ground till his number hit it. Look at the lane they create. That's what you're looking for as a quarterback. You can't see over the line, and you have to look through the lane.
Coleman and A.J. Johnson really walloped him, but it's the first down. Anderson, and for one of the few times tonight, the Redskins stop a Giant running back line of scrimmage. Andre Collins led the charge, and Darrell Green in to help out. Here's the situation of comparison a year ago to the Giants. Obviously, the biggest thing, their point total is down. They've not thrown as many touchdown passes, and the turnovers have really hurt them this year.
And not only the turnovers, but where they have come. They've come in the red area. Everybody says, what's wrong with the red area, Ray? Well, Coach Hanley said, listen, he went down. We had a fumble here. We had a fumble there. We missed the third down. He went right down and cited the red area being the big problem for turnovers.
Already lost 8 fumbles this year, only 9 all of last season. Hostetler, a little play action, wants a screen. Anderson, and the Redskins figured that one out in a hurry. Andre Collins, the second-year man from Penn State, right where he was supposed to be.
What's the one thing you notice in the Giants series then?
They went away from the run up the middle.
But the big thing is O.J. Anderson is in instead of Rodney Hampton.
Yep.
And he's not as quick. He's not as explosive hitting the hole. We saw him run the ball a couple times, but he didn't get to the hole as quick and cut up inside. We saw the Redskin tacklers trying to get their one arm on Hampton going through the holes. They couldn't do it. But when O.J. doesn't get there as quick, you can get your whole body over to make a play.
And Hostetler will come to the sideline as they check out a Redskin injury with 11:17 to go in the half. Still 10-0 Giants. Redskins middle linebacker Matt Millen has never missed a game because of injury in his 12-year career, but he limped off the field after the last play. And Adrian White of the Giants being x-rayed for a possible shoulder injury. We'll let you know his condition as soon as we find out. 3rd and 13. Meggett is in with Hampton. Hostetler under pressure, dumps it off. Hampton has it. Gets to the Redskins 48, well short of the first down. That's 8 out of 9 for Hostetler, who has missed 3 passes a game in his last 3 games. He's been incredible.
He really, I mean, he's playing better and better, playing with more and more confidence. Feels more confident in the huddle, but that was a big series for the Redskins defense. They needed to slow down that steamrolling Giant offense.
Landeta equally adept at booming 55-yarders or killing it inside the 20, and Brian Mitchell, who leads the NFL in punt return, waits at the 10. Mitchell has already had 2 touchdown returns this year. Beautiful high spiral for Landeta. Mitchell lets it go, and it kicks into the end zone. So the Redskins, after a 48-yard punt, will be able to start at their own 20-yard line. To go in the first half of play, and it has been all New York Giants. They've done most of the damage on the ground against this Redskins defense, and now Washington has to show something on offense.
Washington came out in the first 3 series, tried to establish the run. I don't think they're going to be able to run. They're going to have to start putting the ball in the air.
They only have 1 wide receiver in there right now, and that's Ricky Sanders. They'll keep it on the ground, and Biner got absolutely nothing. May have lost a yard. There is a flag down. Reasons and Pepper Johnson, the inside linebackers, were in on the stop.
Illegal substitution foul. 12 men, defense. 5-yard penalty. It will be first down again.
That's the kind of things the Giants can't do. And that's a mental factor. You know, you're out here busting your tail, physically knocking people around, making plays, and all of a sudden you get a 5-yard substitution. Now they're not 2nd down and 12 from the 18.
It's first and 5.
First and 10 or 1st and 5 from the 25.
Middleton and Warren, 2 tight ends. And Rippon to throw. And throws short of Donnie Warren. Warren had missed most of the first half of the year with a broken bone in his foot. Came back a couple of games ago. And here is the Budweiser storyline from the Meadowlands. Hampton already has 51 yards in the Giants' touchdown. The Redskins have only run 7 plays for a total offense of a yard. -3 rushing. Total dominance. 2nd and 5. Biner. First down. Gets to the 31-yard line. Banks and Eric Dorsey on the tackle. And they're glad to have Eric Dorsey back. He missed 5 games. The after effects of an arthroscopic knee, and has shored up that defensive front for the Giants. And I think that's one of the reasons that they have struggled in the early part of the year, because they have missed Eric Howard, the middle guard. 9:20 on a turning clock, 2nd period. Still 2 tight ends, and Rippon with play action. Throws for Clark, incomplete. Clark had beaten the zone that time and was open, but he is the only wide receiver in the ballgame right now for the Redskins. Hope you'll be with us next Saturday. We have a college football triple-header coming your way. Starting at 12:30, Desmond Howard and Michigan take on Purdue. Then at 4 o'clock, number 12, North Carolina State will go against South Carolina. And then at 7:30, here's the big one, number 9, Nebraska against number 16, Colorado. 7:30 Eastern start on CFA primetime. 2nd and 10, Redskins. Now they go with 4 wide receivers. And they'll give it to Biner. And Biner slips and falls, covered by Johnson at the 32. You know, that time they tried to cross him up.
Well, you know what I'd do if I was Ernest Biner? As soon as I could, I'd get in the locker room and find a pair of shoes I can stay on my feet with. Coming out of their own end zone on the 2-yard line when the Giants had him backed up, he slipped making a turn out to the right. This time coming to the left, his feet went out from underneath him trying to cut. I'd find myself a new pair of tires.
This is the number 1 rushing offense and the number 1 scoring offense in the National Football League. And for a quarter and a half, they have gone nowhere with the football. Rip and unload. He's got Clark, and he dropped it. Holy cow, perfect throw, and he couldn't hold it.
Mark Rippon couldn't believe it. This is a little half roll to the right. Boy, in big games, everybody's got to make big plays, and nobody's made bigger plays for the Redskins. He rolls a little to his right and just throws it as far as he can. Hangs it up perfectly for Gary Clark. This is a perfect pass. Absolutely perfect. Didn't have to reach. Never got his eyes back on it. Let it get right through.
And Perry Williams is the happiest guy out there because he was beaten by 2 steps. Goodburn to punt to Megan. Low line drive. And over the head of Megan. Take it on the second hop. And brought down at the 16, 17-yard line. A 54-yard punt. Goodburn got away with one there and a 3-yard return. Gary Clark with the drop that could have made it a 10-7 game, but it's still 10-0. Gary Clark trying to shake it off on the sideline. The 3rd all-time leading receiver in Redskins history dropped a sure touchdown.
And one thing about Gary Clark, I've watched him when he came into the league. He was a rookie with me. This is one of the most intense people you'd ever see. That is bothering him bad.
8:09 to go, first quarter. And the Giants have done a good job not only on first down, but every down. Hostetler dumped it to Hampton. Marshall came over, got a piece of him, and drove him out of bounds. You go back to that drop touchdown, you don't get opportunities like that against the Giants defense very often.
No, you don't. What happens is Rippon's going to roll a little bit this way. Clark is just going to go down. Perry Williams is going to try and stay with him. The safety hangs in the middle too long, and the ball's going to be thrown perfectly down the sidelines. Mark rolls to the right, pulls the safety just a little. Clark down the lower part of your screen, just running behind everybody, and he loses it. You just don't get those opportunities in big games very often. You've got to make the big plays. And nobody knows it more than that man.
Gary Clark is just pacing up and down the sideline alone. I want you to think about this. 2nd and 4. Hampton. Charles Mann got a piece of him up to about the 26-yard line. Mann is one of the reasons the Redskins have played such outstanding defense this year. Very frustrating season for him a year ago when he had a knee injury and couldn't play like he had when he sent him to the Pro Bowl so many times.
And the reason why was he had a rookie outside linebacker, Andre Collins, he felt he had to take care of. He had Eric Williams playing on the inside, so he felt like he was the veteran guy, and he had to play more cautiously. Now that Wilbur Marshall has been moved to that left outside linebacker position, Eric Williams has another year. He feels like he can cut it loose now this year, and 8 sacks and great play has proven he can.
He's having a tremendous year. 3rd and 1. The Giants have been very successful on 3rd and short so far tonight against the Redskins defense. Hampton does it again. First down and barrels his way out to the 30-yard line. Whacked into Edwards and Govea. This kid is a hard runner.
He's not only a hard runner, he's quick to the hole, Mike, but if you need a yard, you find Jumbo Elliott and you find William Roberts and you put a tight end over there and you send Hampton that way and you're going to get yourself some yardage. Because when secondary guys have to come up and make the tackle, it's going to be 3 yards down the field.
Well, they buried some people, didn't they?
That's a lot of big people to bury people, too.
13 carries, 58 yards in the first half for Hampton. Hostetler in the flat. Hampton got by Collins. What a move. Collins ended up sitting down, getting a great view of it. Danny Copeland, the safety, had to make another stop.
The Redskin players, it looks like they're just not, you know, they play on natural grass at RFK. We saw Ernest Biner slip twice. That time Collins did the old shuffle, two-step, fall down. And it's just, it's not a hot, it's a cool night, and this turf gets a little bit of a moisture, a little dew on it, makes it a little slick.
2nd and 3. Hasn't been slick with the Giants.
I was just going to say the Giants must have different slick shoes.
Hampton and Carson on the back. Hostetler play action. 40 and out of bounds. Millen chased him out, but he is where he should be for a first down. And that's the added dimension of Hostetler.
That's why Ray Hanley made the decision over that man, Phil Simms. I'll tell you, you talk about a class act. Phil Simms standing there is one of the top 8 quarterbacks in the National Football League, and he can't get out on the football field. I'll tell you, the Giants got a real problem next year. This is the last year of this man's contract.
Simms said he is going to try to be quiet, not to say anything controversial, and just hope things work out for everybody. He has handled this entire situation with so much class and so much dignity.
Well, we remember he got hurt after week 11 last year, so he just said it's a long season. A lot can happen.
Of course, he was only 9-1 in his last 10 starts against Washington. Hostetler going for Baker. Little contact between Baker and Mayhew. No flag. Good coverage. Coming into this game, Hostetler had completed 42 of his last 52 passes. I mean, that's sensational.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's real good.
80%. He's only 10 out of 12 tonight, so he doesn't miss many.
And what he threw was not a high percentage pass.
No. This has been a rapidly moving first half, only 4:41 to go, and there you see the play selection. They have run 17 times. A lot of the passes have been run-type passes in the flat or screen. 2nd and 10. Hampton and Millen shot the gap and drilled him in the backfield. Matt Millen always wanted to be a Redskin. He was almost drafted by them on draft day. They took Art Monk instead, something they've never regretted. But Matt Millen is very happy to be in a Washington uniform.
He said for 11 years he's been chasing Art Monk. He finally caught up to him. Rodney Hampton came real close to doing something real stupid, because when you throw the ball at another player, they consider that taunting. Now, I don't care whether it's in the end zone or you're on the ground. He almost, watch this, he gets up, Millen throws his feet away, and Hampton says, "The heck with you." That could have cost the Giants. They don't need a 15-yarder there.
On the other hand, it could have cost the Redskins. 3rd and 13. That's the first negative play the Giants have had tonight, and Meggett is in with 3:59 left in the half. Dump it off to Meggett. Let him do it. Got away from Marshall. First down and more. Driven out of bounds at the 45 by Alboyd Mays. And a late hit will be called on the Redskins. And Meggett is hurt. Mays appeared to hit him when he was already out of bounds. And the little man's been hurt all week anyway.
Well, I talked to him in warm-ups, and he said that heel was bothering him. He knows it hurts. He says it hurts when I move around, but I'm just going to have to gut it up. All he does on this play is check down in the middle of the formation. Slides in the middle, gets lost, lets everybody drop. Now, look at the nice job he does of freezing. Doesn't look like his foot's bothering him at all there. Now, he takes the shot out of bounds.
Oh, that was real close to the sideline, wasn't it?
Actually, it was close to the bench.
Where he makes contact.
Well, you see, it's the push that does it.
Yeah.
It's one thing making contact. That's understandable.
Right.
But it's when you get your arms out and you push somebody, that's uncalled for.
So that moves it down inside the 30-yard line with 3 minutes, 41 seconds to go in the first half. A half that has been dominated by the New York Giants on both sides of the ball. They lead 10-0 and have another first down. Hostetler straight back this time under pressure, dumps it to Hampton. To the 20, a first down and out of bounds. The pressure was being put on by Tim Johnson, but they had a screen called. And that had to be the reason that Johnson got in there so quickly.
Well, what they did is they let Johnson come in. Right now, the Giant offense is dictating the tempo to the Redskin defense. The Redskins don't know where to look for somebody. Doug Riesenberg gets a nice block. Eric Moore cuts down the outside linebacker. And there you see Rodney Hampton just running down the sideline, picking up chunks of yardage.
Hostetler now 12 out of 14, 119 yards. And the Redskins sideline has got to be wondering what is going on with this team that's the only remaining unbeaten team in the league. Otis Anderson is in the ballgame. He'll get the carry. Slants inside the 15 to maybe the 12-yard line behind Bart Oates. And after the play, Collins comes up, pushing and shoving.
Richie Pettibone there, fixing his sleeves to his right. Torgy Torgerson, the defensive line coach. Rich scratching his hat, trying to figure out, okay, what do I call in this situation? The one thing he didn't want to do is he didn't want to have to try and figure out how to stop the Giant offense on 3rd and 3s and 3rd and 4s, and that's all he's had to do tonight.
Well, sometimes they haven't even gotten to 3rd down. 199 to 9. And the Redskins have the #1 offense in the league. Carthon gets a rare carry inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. He may have another first down. Tim Johnson made the tackle. The other thing the Redskins have been unable to do is keep the Giants from eating up the clock. We are nearing the 2-minute warning. And they stop the clock. They'll measure for the first down. What an impressive night it has been for the New York Giants.
It's very simple. You boil this game down to one area of the game. The Giant offensive line has controlled and dominated the line of scrimmage. If you can do that, your offense can do anything it wants.
Giants defensive line hasn't done a bad job.
They haven't had to work very much.
That's right.
You know, they go out for a few plays and let the offense go out for a week.
A week's about right. 2:09 left to go. It will be 3rd and an inch.
Is that almost a smile on Ray Hanley's face, or is that a slight grin?
I don't know if we'll get a smile this early, but we have reached 2 minutes to go in the first half, and a standing ovation for the Giants. They lead 10-0. Half from the Meadowlands, and if you joined us late, it has been all, and I mean all, New York Giants. They lead 10-0, but they have dominated play far beyond that 10-0 score. That's what they need for another first down, and look at this drive. 6:09. It started at their own 17. Anderson. First down near the 5. Well, it really hasn't mattered whether it's been Hampton or Otis Anderson. They've gotten the first down, but a flag is down on the play.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 44, offense.
And that's Maurice Carthon, the lead blocker.
A late push in the back.
A late push in the back is the further explanation.
This is going to be one that's interesting.
So instead of 1st and goal at the 5, this will really back it up.
Well, we'll go all the way back just outside the 20.
Right. Carthon out of Arkansas State, 7 years, still one of the best blocking backs in the NFL. See if we can tell what happened, as he was the lead blocker for Otis Anderson.
There he is on the right side of your screen, number 44. There it is. Now there's the push. Yeah, come on.
Boy.
Come on. Let the guys play football.
Well, you know what they're trying to do. They've had so much pushing and shoving already. They're trying to shut it down, but that sure wasn't much.
That's a bad call.
Yeah.
I can't agree with that. These are guys, this is a heated rivalry. There's a lot at stake. Tempers, and obviously this is a big-time football game. You got to let the guys play a little bit.
So now Hostetler wants a timeout to talk about it after they mark the ball outside the Redskins' 20-yard line. We have a timeout with 1:53 to go in the half, and we'll be back to the Meadowlands for the Giants and the Skins right after this. One minute, 53 seconds to go. First half of play. Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann with you. Our entire ESPN crew here in New York, and the Giants are leading it 10-0. They face a 3rd and 12 from their own 21. The personal foul that was called was ruled to have happened while the last play was still in progress, so it is a 3rd down situation. They need to get inside the 8-yard line. Four-man rush. Hostetler under pressure. And he's shoved out of bounds by Charles Mann and also chased by James Gathers. And the field goal unit will come on.
Jumpy Gathers does an excellent job flushing Hostetler out of the pocket and never stopping the pursuit. He never gave him a chance to set up. Now, number 30 up by Hostetler. He may be little, but there he is. He's taking on Monty Coleman. Boy, you talk... I don't know who got the better of who on that, but Megan sure did a great job.
5'9", 180, and really stood in there. Allegre, who already has the 23-yarder, will try this one from 36 out of the hole of Hostetler. Diassi is the snapper. And just inside the post. The Redskins may feel fortunate to only be down 13-0 the way they've been dominated so far. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann back with you at the Meadowlands. Are you surprised of anything you've seen so
far? Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I'm not surprised at the way the Giants have run the football. That's what they want to do. I'm surprised the Redskins haven't brought some more linebackers up in play to try and force Hostetler to throw. And I'm surprised that the Redskins have continued to try and run the football and work on deep passes instead of trying to just throw on 1st and 10 and get the ball to their backs or their tight ends.
And they have not been able to run the ball very well. The Giants defense, that front 7, has really collapsed all over them. Redskins have not been shut out in the first half this year. They lead the league averaging 33 points a game. Mitchell at the 5. Special teams have been a big part for Washington this year. Trying to get outside and nailed at the 13-yard line. What a shot by Mark Collins. Oh, man.
Well, you know how big this game is. He's your starting left corner, and he's running down there on special teams. You know, he told me, he said, I like playing against the Redskins because you know it's going to be a hard-hitting, clean, tough football game. And, boy, he just nailed Brian Mitchell.
Hey, you like playing against anybody you've beaten 9 out of 10 times.
that was the other thing he said.
There's that scoring drive. 6.5 minutes, 64 yards, and Allegre finished it with a field goal. 1:33 left in the half. Rippon to throw. To Art Monk, the first catch he's made tonight, stops at the 20. And for Art Monk, 184 straight games with a catch.
If you're the Redskins right now, you want to show patience. You'll take the completions. You've got your timeout. If you can get 3 on the board, you got to feel like the half's okay.
Biner, they go to the ground, and Biner stacked up after a gain of a yard. Carl Banks wasn't buying.
Mark Rippon's got to do a better job of getting his people in the huddle. They're standing around. There's too much standing around right now. You know, they're wasting time. They've already run 14 seconds, 15 seconds down.
And the Redskin coaches are taking a long time to signal the plays into them, too.
A lot of indecision right here. They should have had a 3rd and short play ready to go.
Down to 40 seconds. 3rd and a yard. And it looks right now like the Redskins are willing to take some time off the clock. They have the first down. Carl Banks makes the tackle. And I don't think Joe Gibbs wanted to risk a turnover.
Well, I still think he could have thrown the football in 2nd down and short and got himself in a little bit better position.
And now they throw, and I do not understand this one. You waste all that time, and then you throw the football, and we're down to 9 seconds. Of course, there are a lot of things I don't understand, but this is one of them.
I think they could have run it a little bit different. Now the Redskins call a timeout with 3 seconds to go in the half, and they picked up a total of 25 yards. in almost a minute and a half of the first half. I got to be honest with you, Mike. It's a lousy job of running the 2-minute drill. And the indecision on the sideline by the coaches has compounded.
And Joe Gibbs is arguing with the officials that the last play, the clock should have stopped by itself because the Redskin receiver was out of bounds.
Still would have only been 8 seconds.
Exactly.
I mean, it was only a loss of 5 seconds. There you see Art Monk get hit. Now he's out of bounds. The play should have been stopped.
He sure is.
He's not only out of bounds, he's almost out of the stadium.
Mark Collins got another drill in that time, but they did not stop the clock. They let it run. Bottom of the first, Atlanta and Minnesota, Game 7, no score. We will keep you updated throughout every half inning.
I told you, you don't have to watch this until the 8th inning. 7th, 8th inning.
Chris Berman's fastest 3 minutes in television. His back comes up at halftime. We'll take a look at the Saints being knocked off today. And Joe will be back with an analysis of this one. 3 seconds to go in the halftime for one play from the Redskins and Rippon on a rollout. Jump ball at the 5, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pepper Johnson. And an appropriate ending to the first half that was dominated by the New York Giants. They lead it 10-0. Right now, let's join Chris Berman.
All right, Mike and Joe. Spin here, he's left. He's spin here, he's left. He's spin here, he's left.
Such is a kicker's life.
He was studying for his master's degree down at the University of Texas and talking to the kids about staying in school and staying away from drugs. And the call went out, and here he is.
13-0 Giants. Redskins will get the ball as we start the second half. Ricky Irvin runs into a pile, squirts through the first couple of tacklers out to the 30-yard line. Take a look at the first half statistics. And they reflect what the New York Giants were able to do. Look at the Redskins. 26 yards passing, 9 yards rushing.
And on top of that, they even committed a turnover. I mean, this is the Redskins' best start of the game at the 30-yard line. Time of possession is the key here. You can't do anything unless you have the football. The Giants have kept it 21 minutes. The Redskins only 8.
And it didn't seem like the Redskins had it for that long. Redskins start the half with 3 wide receivers, but they go with the run, and Biner is tripped up. First man that got a hand on him was Eric Dorsey, and then the linebackers converge.
Well, one thing Ernest Biner did at halftime, he changed his shoes. The first half, he had tape around him on the arches, and he's taking it off for better footing. That's the first smart move they've made.
And Ricky Irvin, the sensational rookie, has checked in at running back. He'll get his first carry. This kid can bust it. Out over the 45 to the 47-yard line. 2 weeks ago, before the off week against Cleveland, 13 carries, 133 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Joe Gibbs joked, if I ever let this kid in the game to play a lot, he's going to do something, and everybody's going to say, why didn't you let him in before? Well, it happened, and Joe Gibbs was the first guy to laugh about it.
He's not laughing now, I'll tell you that.
14-yard carry. Before that, the Redskins' entire running game had netted 12 yards. Rippon to throw. Screen to Irvin. Wrapped up in another great defensive play by Pepper Johnson. He's been complaining earlier in the year that people aren't running plays toward him. He made the Pro Bowl last year. Says he wants more action.
Well, you know, if you're that good, people aren't going to run at you. On this particular play, you see Irvin slide out to the right. Rippon trying to draw the entire Giant defense to him. This is a pretty good play. It's set up fairly well. They got LT blocked, but Pepper gets the one arm around Irvin and brings him down.
A loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Redskins go with 4 wide receivers. Middleton, the tight end, is one of them. They go with a draw. Irvin flattened as he got back to the line of scrimmage. Dorsey and Marshall combined on the tackle. This defense has been sensational tonight. Keep you up to date on the World Series. Bottom of the second, still scoreless. Atlanta and Minnesota. And as Joe said, it won't be over till the 11th inning anyway, so stick with it. 3rd and 10. The Redskins haven't faced many of these this year. And the Giants come after them, dump it off, and Biner drops it. Wide open at the Giant 49. Turned to look to see if he could get the first down and dropped it, and Lawrence Taylor had a bead on Mark Rippon.
Well, Mark Rippon would have liked to hung on to this and maybe tried to pick up 10. Watch the left side of the screen. CLT come all the way around. What they did is they figured, why let him take on Lachey one-on-one? Let's stick him someplace, put an end, hold Lachey, bring him around hard, and force Rippon to get rid of the ball.
And the Redskins have to give it up again. Meggett waits at the 10 for Kelly Goodburn. Fair catch signal, and Meggett has to come all the way up to the 20 to make it. A 33-yard kick, no return. We'll be back to the Meadowlands in a minute. Giants take over at their own 20-yard line and go back to what they have done all night long. Give the ball to Hampton up the middle, and he grinds out 5.
Yeah, the only thing different is he wound up running a little bit right. Now, Jeff Hostetler's had the opportunity to be very selective. Look at the passes. You see he's 2 for 2 out to the left side. 2 outs to the left, staying a little bit on the right side, hit the curl, having a great completion percentage, but you'll notice nothing past 15 yards. Tried the one big deep play just to loosen up the defense, but they're doing exactly what they want to do, selecting passes when they want to throw, not when they have to throw.
Hostetler, another brilliant night. The Redskins with 23 sacks on the year. They have gotten close to Hostetler only once tonight and not gotten a hand on him. Hampton cuts it out to the left side. First down and more. What a pretty move there out to the 33-yard line. Jumpy Geathers and Darrell Green made the tackle.
You just can't talk enough about the left side of that Giant offensive line. John Elliott, Jumbo Elliott, William Robertson, he put Howard Cross on that left side, and they just wiped out the entire right side of the Redskins defense. Watch them cut back towards the lower right-hand part of the screen. Look at the push they get. Wilbur Marshall gets taken way inside. Wilbur Marshall's 5 yards off the ball. Hampton makes a move to pick up 7.
First down, 10 Giants, their own 33. Play action. Hostetler with some pressure, had that one tipped and incomplete, and Hostetler got it from behind. Geathers and Tim Johnson applying the pressure on Hostetler that time.
This is a big play, because this is a big play for the Redskin defense. And I think what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to bring more than just the front 4. They're probably either going to have to commit both outside linebackers to contain Hostetler, but also if they blitz, it'll allow those defensive players to fill the gaps, and therefore the Giants won't be able to run up inside as they have so effectively.
Hampton. Wilbur Marshall hit him, and Coleman stripped the ball, but after the play, it's down to the 37-yard line. Gain of about 3.
The Redskin offensive line, Jim Hadifin kneeling down in the middle. He's got that little blackboard in his hand. What they're trying to do is they're trying to identify the movement of the Giant defensive front line and linebackers to create some running lanes for Biner and Irvin.
And many will tell you that's the best offensive line in the game, not only in terms of talent but depth. 3rd and 7 for Hostetler. Skins come with a blitz. Hostetler with time and throws incomplete in between Turner and Ingram, who were crossing, and for one of the few times tonight, the Giants will have to kick it away.
That was a very similar pass route to the one we saw Stephen Baker make a catch on for the big gain in the first quarter.
Mitchell will go deep inside his 20 for Landeta, and Landeta has some room to air one out here. Came into the game averaging 41.4, led the NFC a year ago over 44 yards a kick. Pretty high floater. official will have to signal fair catch and make it at the 16-yard line. A punt of 47 yards. Odessa Turner was right on top of the play and no return. Giants training staff working on Doug Riesenberg on the sideline as the Giants continue to lead at 13-0. And that New York offensive line has done quite a job tonight against the Redskins defense.
You know, if that was a little wide receiver, you could say he's into the pits for a little work on his tire, but that looks like one of those big trucks.
This is a semi.
The big semis and, you know, get one of the 18 wheels worked on.
The Redskins are one of the most efficient scoring machines in the NFL this year. They have scored 48% of the time they have had the ball. This is their 6th possession. They have yet to score, and they have to start at their own 16. Rippon can't find anybody. Finally throws and short of Art Monk at the 32. Two divergent philosophies between these clubs on how you put a team together. The Giants have gone almost exclusively through the draft, while the Redskins have 15 to 22 starters either through trades or free agents.
They've never been very big in the draft. Of course, they never really had many draft choices as it was. And Charlie Casserly, the general manager in the last couple of years, has made some outstanding moves, bringing in a lot of free agents.
A lot of Plan B guys who have become starters on this team. Irvin hit in the backfield and dropped. Gary Reason got him after Carl Banks made the first hit. Couple of first and fourth round draft choices there.
Well, you know what's killed the Redskins is they're not able to get any kind of yardage on 1st and 10. If you don't get anything on 1st and 10, you're not going to pick up much on 2nd down by running. There's George Young, the vice president and GM. He's got to be happy with what he sees. He just believes in this Giant organization and ball club.
3rd and 11. Rippon again, having trouble finding somebody, finally hits Sanders. And Sanders taken out of bounds by Myron Guyton, a gain of 15. And a first down for the Redskins.
Mark Rippon showing his patience and his toughness and his maturity. Just hung in the pocket and waited and waited and waited. Really didn't have any other receiver to go to. Pepper Johnson from the lower left part of your screen comes around. Middleton tries to run him out. Mark just hangs in and takes the shot from the back. There you see Pepper take the corner. Doesn't take it as tight as LT.
And that's the longest pass completion of the night for the Redskins. Biner back in. He'll lose a couple. Carl Banks got a hand on his ankle and trip him up. Banks just a sensational run defender on the left side. Top of the 3rd, World Series, Atlanta, Minnesota, scoreless. Redskins face 2nd and 11. Pressure. Drops it off to Biner. Johnson chasing him, and then he gets some help as Everson Walls come up from the corner and roll blocks him. Walls, what a great acquisition he was from the Dallas Cowboys.
He can still play and play it well. He's played a lot of corner, played a lot of safety for him. Here the Redskins line up 3 receivers. They run them all on this side and leak Biner out, hoping that the Giant defense will bite. They don't. They play that umbrella. There goes Biner. They react and only hold him to a short gain.
Redskins only 2 out of 5 on 3rd down tonight. It is 3rd and 6 right here. Only 1, make it 2, now 3 wide receivers in the game as Clark goes in motion. Rippon throws and complete for the first down. Sanders gets up. They'll say he was touched and down at the 48-yard line, a gain of 14. So the Redskins finally finding a little rhythm in the passing game.
You got to give Mark Rippon a lot of credit. They're bringing some people up the front. There you see Taylor on the rush. Rippon hangs in, makes a fine throw. Ricky Sanders, excellent concentration. We saw Stephen Baker make a catch in traffic before, almost at the exact same spot on the field. Ricky Sanders does the same thing there for the Redskins.
Trio of great receivers for Washington in Sanders, Monk, and Clark. First and 10 Redskins. They're still behind 13-0. Biner looks like he wants to throw and does. And throws it badly and out of bounds. I think he saw Sanders covered well and just dumped that one.
Actually, you know, he didn't throw it that badly. It wasn't pretty, I'll grant that. But the fact was, it was an excellent decision. And Ernest Biner's the guy you want doing it.
Biner will come out of the ball game on 2nd and 10. And Irvins checks back in as the single setback. Draw Irvins. Broke a tackle and plunges forward to the 42-yard line, very close to a first down. And it was Mark Collins who made the hit. Tomorrow night, 8:30, join ESPN for Shap Talk as Dick Shap's special guest, Colts running back Eric Dickerson. That should be interesting with all the troubles the Indianapolis Colts have had this year. And as always, you'll have a chance to call in and ask questions of Dick Shap or Eric Dickerson.
Are you going to call?
I might.
I might, too. Ask ED what's happening.
Not much.
No, not a whole lot.
He's had better times. Here's the measurement, just short. Mark Collins, who made that last tackle, now being worked on the sideline. This has really been a hard-hitting game.
Adrian White is out. Now Collins, they're looking at his knee. Now, he's had a history of hamstring problems through the early part of this year, but it looks more like they're checking on his knee.
Third down and an inch.
And I'll tell you, if the Redskins don't make it here, they have to go for it on 4th down, I think. So it's a big part of their series.
Irvin. He's got it and more. Irvin's inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, and this young man, 5'7", 200 pounds, can really turn it on. He hits the hole in a hurry. He's got great speed and very strong.
Got good explosion to the ball. Watch what he does. He'll come through here. They'll cut out. That's reason. They'll turn out here on Marshall. Taylor's out there. He'll just hit the hole. Boom, right through. Nice job by the offensive line. Little crease. Finds just a little bit of running room. He's like you say, Mike, he's not a big guy. He doesn't need a lot of room.
Good block by Don Warren, the tight end on that side. Irvins again. Room to run. Gets to the 31. Good job by Lawrence Taylor not to let him get outside, forced him back to the middle and made the stop.
All year long, the Redskins have been a second-half football team. This is almost the reverse of what we saw in the first half, Mike. The Giants came out, ate the ball up, running and passing, moved the ball down the field. Now the Redskins have done it.
We have 4:23 and counting to go third quarter. 2nd and 7 Skins right here. Irvins gets to the 26-yard line. He gets so low at the point of attack. Pepper Johnson makes a stop.
He's a little big man. He falls into that category of little big man. But that means he's not tall of stature. He's got a great set of legs on him. Got a great low center of gravity. So when he gets down low, he's down around guys' knees, and they just can't get down and get a hold of him.
And he has replaced Gerald Riggs as the number 2 man in the depth chart for the Redskins. And right now he is carrying the entire load. 3rd and 2. Irvin stacked up at the line, cuts it back. First down to the 21-yard line. Carl Banks waiting for him there, along with Greg Jackson, the strong safety. What a nice move by Ricky Irvin.
Great quickness. He goes to the left. Absolutely nothing there. The Giant defense does its job. The pursuit is so aggressive. You see Eric Dorsey come over. that Greg Jackson has to come on and make the tackle, but it isn't but 5 yards downfield.
13th play of this drive for the Redskins, by far their most impressive of the night. Biner is back in as the setback. Irvin gets a breather. For the end zone in Sanders, but Williams had it covered beautifully, and a good decision by Rippon. He threw that one away. It is so tough to get anything deep on the New York Giants.
And it's so tough to get anything in the red area. And not just the Giants really are the problem for scoring being down in the National Football League. So let's blame them for everything. And Joe Gibbs will be the first to say what they've done is they were the first team to start to play a lot of zone down in the red area. They make you pick things up in short yardage. You're not going to get the big quick strike anymore.
An excellent drive, but the Skins need to get some points out of it, and Irvins is back in on 2nd and 10. Pressure from behind. Rippon unloads for Clark, and it went through his hand. Gary Clark had his head turned to the outside, had to turn back to the inside, and just when he turned was when the ball arrived, and it looked like it went right through his arm.
Gary Clark has got Everson Walls and Greg Jackson talking to one another. Left lower side of your screen. This ball should be thrown to the corner. He turns around and just can't find it. I don't think you can blame him. He was looking over his outside shoulder, had to turn all the way around to try and make a play. That one got away from him again. And that is in slow motion. In regular speed, it got there just as he turned around. So now it's 3rd and 10. 4-man rush. Irvin. He's got the first down to the 10, maybe the 9-yard line. Pepper Johnson tripped him up. Irvins has had the biggest impact of any Redskin player so far in this game, and Rippon goes over to shake his hand. What the Redskins are trying to do, they figure, okay, if you're going to cover my big horses, these are my wide receivers, I'm going to run one in motion. This guy here's got to be covered by a linebacker. Let these guys run off, stick him out in the flat, and I'll dump the ball off. Giants, see how they get depth, get back, play that zone. If you're going to play deep, I'll put my guy one-on-one. 1st and goal, a pass incomplete to Clark, and he is floored by Everson Walls. I think the best bet that the Redskins are going to have on 2nd down and goal from the 9-yard line is going to be either getting the ball to a back or one of their tight ends, or bringing Art Monk on one of those patented little read routes to his inside. I don't believe they're going to be able to work the outside of the Giants defense. 2nd and goal. Irvins with an impact so far, 8 carries, 47 yards. Rippon has to pump 3 times and throws it away. Clark covered again by Walls in the corner of the end zone. And it may have looked like Clark had some separation on Walls, but Everson Walls was right in the line of flight. He couldn't fit that one in there. What Everson Walls will do down here is he'll set himself up as a defensive back outside the receiver because he knows he has the back of the end zone. Gary's not going to go very far, and he'll just give ground and give ground. As long as Clark keeps coming, he'll keep backing up. This is the 18th play of the drive, and the Redskins are the most effective team in the league when they get inside the 20-yard line. Whistles blow. Gary Clark made the catch, but there's a flag down, and the whistles were blowing during the middle of the play. And it will come back. And you just saw Joe Gibbs say, who moved? You know who gets credit for that? None of the guys in between the white lines.
Illegal motion foul. Number 81, offense. Moving toward the line.
That was
at the snap.
That was caused by 70,000 people. That's what that was caused. You talk about playing at home and the disadvantages you have of hearing. Art Monk comes in motion, He hesitates for a second. Watch him. He's coming across. He's the only man moving. Now he's looking at Gary Clark on the outside, and he just hesitates for a second and leans a little bit forward. That's a motion penalty.
3rd and goal from the 14. The crowd comes to its feet. Behind Art Monk, but there's a flag. He and Perry Williams were tied up in the end zone, and it looked like Williams had a hold of it.
This is going to be defensive holding on Perry. Art Monk pushes him up into the end zone. Perry Williams can't stay with him as he comes back down towards the flag, winds up grabbing him.
Holding number 23, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's the big part of it. It's an automatic first down.
The yardage isn't much, but it is a first down. Watch what Monk does. He forces him to the outside, takes him up into the end zone, and then Perry just mauls him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a mauling. And
then he holds the hands
Then he bumps his hands up behind him.
I love that.
Who, me? Who, me?
Keeping you updated on the World Series from the Metrodome. Still no score, nothing in the 3rd. As Joe said, it won't matter till the 11th anyhow. Stay with it. Now 1st and goal at the 9 again. This is where we were 4 plays ago. Irvin to about the 7, and the Giants converge. Reasons on the bottom of the pile.
All the years I played against the New York Giants football team, I felt the one area of the field that they were the best at defensively was right here from the 6-7 yard line in. There's Al Groh. He gives him the big C and drive him back. That's it. And then hit him in the stomach and really knock him out. That's what that whole thing was.
Used to be the linebacker coach. He was formerly the head coach at Wake Forest.
The reason they're so tough down inside, Mike, is that they're big in the front 7. They can stop the run, and they force you to throw outside of the formation.
2nd and goal. Rippon throws incomplete. Again, excellent defense by the Giants, and Carl Banks was all over Art Monk.
There's one pass pattern that you can call Art Monk's. It's this little read inside. He starts up, lets Ron Middleton clear, then he cuts up underneath him. Bad throw. That's all it was. The ball was thrown behind him.
This is the 20th, count 'em, 20th play of this drive, and we only have 47 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Rippon Clark, touchdown. It took 20 plays for the Washington Redskins to finally get a drive that would put points on the board.
Boy, you just knew Gary Clark was going to bear down. He's had 2 of them slip away. One an easy touchdown. The other one got away from him in the end zone. Here he just pushes out the cornerback and curls back inside Carl Banks. Great catch, great concentration.
And now Chip Lohmiller will come on to try to make it a 6-point game. So with all the dominance of the New York Giants on offense and defense, they only lead by 6 points with 42 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. We've got a timeout on the field. It's 13-6, Giants over the Redskins. With 42 seconds to go, 3rd period from the Meadowlands, and the Redskins with Lohmiller set to kick off. Hampton and Ingram are deep to receive. Hampton 5 yards deep. And for the 2nd time tonight, they will not be able to return the Lohmiller kickoff. 36 seconds to go in the period. The Giants on top of the Skins by 6. Back in a moment. Meadowlands in New Jersey, where the Giants lead the Redskins 13-7. 36 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. The Redskins just came up with a great drive, 84 yards. The 20 plays makes it the longest drive this year in the NFL.
Well, you know, Mike, also when you take into consideration the Redskins up until that point, in the entire game only had 52 yards of offense, had run 21 plays, only had the ball 11 minutes, had 4 first downs. There was 84-20, 8:55, and 5 first downs.
And they hit 6 out of 6 third down conversions. And remember how big that penalty call was. Back to the run, and Hampton will get 7 straight up the middle. A great block by William Roberts, who pancaked Matt Millen. Boy, Roberts just got into his chest and drilled it.
I mean, that left side of that Giant line has just owned the right side of the Redskin line. Big Jumbo Elliott. Got to come up with a name for William Roberts. Pancake. William Pancake Roberts.
And the Giants will let the clock run out in the third quarter as they continue to lead the Washington Redskins 13-7. Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann back with you at the Meadowlands. The Giants have dominated most of this game except for the last drive for the Redskins. But the Giants have had a nasty habit this year of dominating games, and then in the fourth quarter things come apart.
You know, that's, I think, what the Giant coaches are thinking about right now. We had Cleveland 13-0. That one wound up being 13-10. We had the Steelers just 2 weeks ago, 20-0. That one wound up winning in overtime. So there seems to be a scary pattern being developed by this Giant football team that's not very popular with any of the Giant fans or coaches.
Redskins, of course, hope that pattern would continue. And one of the Redskins is hurt on this play, and immediately his teammates signaling for some help, and that's Eric Williams, the 8-year veteran left tackle who they got in the trade from Detroit last year. That's another thing about being an undefeated team and on top of the league and people talking about you going to the Super Bowl. The Redskins have been fortunate in most cases with injuries this year, and you have to be.
Well, that was one of the factors why the Giants, defending Super Bowl champions, have struggled, I think, defensively, is they got beat up so bad in the defensive line. Washington was out for a while. Dorsey's was out for a while. They're really missed, I believe. The one big key on defense is Eric Howard. Their nose tackle has been gone. Now tonight, we see Mark Collins has been taken off with a stretcher. We'll get an update for you on that. And Adrian White, another defensive back.
They have brought Collins back on the field. Apparently, they have done x-rays, and we'll try to get a report for you. And now they're working on that right leg as the Redskins attend to their injured player. Speaking of the Giants' defensive line, Mike Fox, who was filling in, was also hurt, playing with a bad back. And coaches will not, they say, we will not use injuries as an excuse, but you have to see them as a reality. Here's the World Series update, Atlanta, Minnesota, top of the fourth. And as we've said all night long, there'll probably be a rain delay in the Metrodome.
Right.
And,
air conditioning.
Yeah, it'll go.
It does that.
It'll go 11 or 12.
You've had that happen in your house, haven't you?
Showers all the time. Being very careful with Eric Williams.
Eric Williams, he gets his head.
Oh.
Looks like he gets kneed in the head and then bent to the side on the tackle that he makes.
Really snaps back. And we will check on Eric Williams' condition as the Redskins attend to him. We'll take a break and be back right after this. We are delighted to report that Eric Williams was able to get up and walk off under his own power. He will have a stiff neck for a while. A Giants 3rd and 1. Hampton trying to get it behind Carthon and dropped by Bobby Wilson, the Redskins' #1 and seldom used draft choice, the defensive lineman. He's in there only because Williams was injured on that play and shot the gap and made the tackle.
He's the Redskins' first #1 since 1983 when it was Darrell Green. Now he just fires through. You see him just shoot the gap and make the play.
The Redskins certainly needed something like that. So Landetta is on to punt, and Mitchell, the league leader in punt returners, waits to 31. We're inside 14 minutes to go in this one. 13-7 New York. No rush. Mitchell with a chance to return from the 31. And a nice return up to his own 48-yard line. A return of 16 officially after a 46-yard punt, and then pushing and shoving after the play. And the officials in quickly to break it up. Hope you'll join us every Sunday at noon. We start with Game Day. Chris Berman and Tom Jackson there to preview all the action in the NFL. And then they come back at 7 o'clock with prime time highlights of all the day's games. And then at 8 o'clock, Next Sunday night, Joe and I will be at Mile High Stadium as the Denver Broncos and John Elway go against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Best field position of the night for Washington. And Irvins is the tailback. Maybe a changing of the guard with the Redskins. Play action by Rippon. Throws wide open to tight end Orr, and he can't catch it. Harry Orr may have mistimed his leap ever so slightly, and the ball went off his fingertip.
Mark Rippon, I think, was in a little bit of a hurry to try and get him the ball. And that happens quite a bit. When you see a guy wide open, you try real hard to get him the ball in a hurry so he can run with it. Good play action fake. There you see Terry Orr wide open in the flat. He tries to go up and make the play. Everson Walls almost had a snowbird land in his lap.
2nd and 10. Irvins on the delay. Marshall was having none of it. Made the tackle in the backfield, and if he hasn't, LT was waiting.
Well, you know, it's LT and Marshall. I think they're one of the two great tandems in the National Football League. They each complement one another. They've been doing it for a long time. He's got 21 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. I mean, he's the force he's always been.
Last year he had his lowest sack total since he was a rookie year, and there the score by totals. The Skins can score like a machine in the 4th quarter, and the Giants have given up 51 in the 4th quarter. That's one of the worst in the league. Rippon. Clark is open. Touchdown. Everson Walls a step behind, and for the 2nd time in the game, Mark Rippon put the bomb right in the hands of Gary Clark, but he caught this one.
Well, they ran it with a little roll to the right the first time. This time they ran it with a little roll to the left. Rippon just sets and fires. Clark's on the outside. Everson's looking in. He says, oh, no. Can't run like he used to at the corner. That time he just peeked a little too long.
Gary Clark has 4 touchdown catches on the year, in the top 10 in catches and yardage in the NFC. And Lohmiller puts the Redskins on top. What a comeback so far for Mark Rippon and the Redskins offense. Down 13-0. Now they lead it by 1. First touchdown drive took nearly 9 minutes. They must have thought that was too long. The last one took 52 seconds.
Yeah, they don't wait around. I mean, it's the 4th quarter, right? Don't they have to start scoring?
They certainly do, and now the Giants have to start scoring again.
Mark Rippon really doing a good job. I mean, he hit Gary 3 plays, 52 seconds, 52 yards. Mark Rippon really playing well.
Lohmiller, who has put the ball in the end zone, has only 2 previous chances, kicking to Hampton and Ingram. Hampton at the 1. Got a seam and tripped up as he crossed the 20. Got to about the 23-yard line. John Brandis, I believe, made the tackle, and it was.
On that touchdown pass, Mark Rippon's going to roll this way. Now the safety is going to start to help this way and then come back to the middle because the quarterback's rolled this way. And then he'll turn and fire it deep down the field when Clark goes down. Rip starts to his left. See the safety come back to the middle. Just freeze him for a second and let it fly. This is the 2nd time Clark has gotten behind the corners of the New York Giants.
His 2nd touchdown catch could have had 3 tonight. Hostetler, 12 out of 16, but only 0 for 2 in the 2nd half. The Giants have to get it going again, trailing for the first time in the game. Hostetler complete to Baker at the 42. Mayhew and Marshall on the coverage, a gain of 17. World Series, still 0-0, bottom of the 4th.
Surprise?
No.
I didn't think so.
Haven't missed a thing.
Nice job by Jeff Hostetler. You know, the Giants' philosophy is run the football, go to play action passes, and every now and then throw a drop back pass. And that's exactly the way it's been scripted by Ray Hanley tonight.
Approaching the 12-minute mark. 14-13, Redskins over the Giants. Hampton the setback. He'll get to Carey. And the line moved the Redskins off the ball again, and Hampton all the way out to the 49-yard line. They're just blowing people off the ball over there.
Rodney Hampton ran as far as he could because that's where the offensive line took the entire Redskin defensive right side. Back 8 yards, that's what he got, 8 yards. Giants don't, they don't have to be in a hurry here. They can just continue to play their game. They can continue to be patient. They're not too bad in the fourth quarter either when you take a look at it. I mean,
but the defense has given up 58 points, and that's through the last drive in 8 games. Carthon as they try to pick up the first down, and he looks like he stopped short at about the 48.5-yard line of the Redskins. Taylor on the sideline with his defensive teammates.
3 out of 4.
They're short by the length of a football. I'm out of the preseason. I can start doing this again. I feel good about my the length of a football. And if it was any other coach but Ray Hanley, who likes to be a bit conservative, you'd say, what a great time for a play-action pass.
Looks like the length of a football. Backup quarterback Matt Cavanaugh. And there's Hostetler. Can't forget, Hostetler is no youngster. This is his 8th year in the league out of West Virginia. Got his opportunity to play, of course, last year after Phil Simms was hurt, following the best season of his career. Simms has not seen any action this year. Hostetler has done the job. Play action. Hostetler has the first down himself and gets out of bounds. Well, you said.
I think the Redskin coaches were thinking like I was. He said, Ray Hanley, he pounded out. They've moved the ball on the left side very well. Sounds like a good thing. Let's try it again. They come back, run the play-action fake, and Hostetler picks up the first down. See, if you got a quarterback who can't run, this is tough, and he does a good job. Very similar play-action faker to Steve DeBerg and Randall Cunningham. These guys have got great hands. They stick the ball in, show it to the defense, and then pull it back with one hand. I could never do that. My hands are too small. He does a great job with his play-action faking.
A little more play action. They'll dump it out in the flat to Hampton, but Wilbur Marshall is right there. Marshall has not made many big plays tonight, but he has all year long for the Redskins after they moved him from the weak side to the strong side, a move he was not happy about at all, but he has done so well this year.
He's a typical Redskin player. He accepts the role that the coaches want him to play, and he did it the best. He's done the best with it. One big thing about him, he played last year at about 245, and Larry Peccatello, their linebacker coach, told me they asked him to lose 15. He's playing at 230. He thinks that's the reason why he's able to make big plays.
2nd and 9. 4-man rush. Here goes Hostetler again, and got out of bounds at the 39-yard line. He'll be about 4 yards short of a first down. LT wondering what is going to happen in the fourth quarter of the Giants this week. They have won 2 straight. Top of the 5th, still zip. It'll still be going on when we get back to the hotel. We'll watch it in the 11th. Ray Hanley faced with a big 3rd down call here. 3rd and 5. Hostetler goes to the shotgun. Redskins go blitz and come with it. Hostetler hangs in and throws incomplete, intended for Ingram. And Hostetler really took a shot.
Andre Collins just waited for the middle to open up, and he filled the void. What you do, if you're going to bring a delayed blitz, you wait till the back commits. You hold the linebacker out and then bring him hard, and that's exactly what they do here. Puts his helmet right in Hostetler's chest, but doesn't really deliver the extra blow, so they don't call the roughing.
Some of the fans did not like the decision not to go for it on 4th and 5, and now Darrell Green waits at the 10-yard line. I think the Redskins are keeping their defensive personnel on the field in case of a fake. That's why Green is back there. Play clock down to 0, and the Giants were trying to pull them offside. It's not going to work. They'll take the 5 yards.
See, they don't have to, though. They can decline it. They don't need to take the 5. They can just say no, make them kick from here. And that's what Charlie Mann's going out to discuss with Jerry Marquardt.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
The reason why they take the 5 on that particular play is just, 4th and 5 is one of those gray areas. They could possibly try a running play or maybe a fake. So in that instance, it's something that should have been accepted.
One other thing, and running into the kicker penalty is 5 yards. And now Mitchell goes in as the Redskins assume this will be a punt. And Landeta with a little more real estate to work with. Shooting for the corner. And doesn't get it. Odessa Turner was faked out that time. He waited by the receiver who was faking the fair catch, and the ball kicked into the end zone. That's the story from the Meadowlands. 8:34 left in the game. Redskins 14, Giants 13. Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann, glad you could join us tonight. Redskins take over at their own 20. Irvins behind Rippon. And Irvins will get the call. He's made a big difference here in the second half. Only gets a couple this time. Tomorrow's headlines brought to you by Levi's and the Saints. 7-game win streak is over. The Bears did it today. Chris Miller was hot for the Falcons. 3 touchdowns. The Oilers off to the best start in Oiler history. Kozar, 262 straight completions, no interceptions. The Pack forced 8 turnovers, and the 49ers may be back on the right track. 2nd and 8 Redskins. Rippon changing the play. Throws complete to Clark. So dangerous after he makes the catch out to the 31. It's the first down. And Lachey again did a great job on the charging Lawrence Taylor.
That time he just took LT and let him go exactly where he wanted to. He started to make the upfield rush and just rode him past Mark Rippon. Jim Lachey with the big hands. Watch him get his hands on LT. See how he gets his hands on him? He doesn't let him allow his hands into his body, and he pushes him away.
Rippon has been sacked only 4 times this year. Lachey, one of the prime reasons. That's the lowest in the NFL. 1st and 10 Redskins. 7:06 to go in the game. Irvin. And Carl Banks was coming on the snap.
And I'll tell you something. The Redskins spread the receivers out so wide, you just had to figure they're doing it for a reason. And the reason is they wanted to run the football. Banks and Taylor both coming off the corners hard. Lower right-hand part of your screen. See him coming close? Taylor was on his way up the other side as well.
You could just see Carl Banks say, "You're all mine, rookie. If you get the ball, it's over." And it was. 2nd and 11. Draw to Irvin. Running room this time. And Irvins with a first down out to the 43-yard line. Greg Jackson, the safety, had to make the tackle.
That time they let the Giant front 4 commit and come up the field and give him just a little bit of a crease right up the middle. This guy gets out of the blocks in a hurry. Watch him go. They let him go up, and then they turn him out. They turn LT out. Irvins hits the hole so quickly, he's into the secondary. He'll make at least one guy miss, and it seems like everybody gets a hand on him, but it's only a hand, and he'll pick up 5 yards after that.
The draw play really hurt the Giants against the Steelers. Irvin, 61 yards on 13 carries, and he has become the prime back in this ground game. Irvin's again. Only a couple this time. Stops at the 44, but the clock becoming a factor. We're down to 5:27 and turning.
We talk about offensive lines. That right side of the offensive line with Jacoby at right tackle is moving now that Giant defensive line out. There's Big Joe.
6'7", 314. This is such a critical game for the New York Giants. A win would tie them for second with Dallas and put them 2 games out of first. If they lose, they're 4 games out of first, and you can forget it. 4:51 left in the game. 2nd and 8. Irvin takes a big shot but falls forward to the 49-yard line. Carl Banks made the stop again.
This is the championship 3rd down. I mean, this is the Giants' 3rd down. The Giants are either, after this, going to have the opportunity to play for a division title, or it's going to be tough to get the ball away from the Redskins because they're going to milk the clock if they can't stop them here, and the fans know it as well.
Canning defense and coming to their feet. They have seen the Giant defense do it so many times over the years against the Redskins. They want to see it one more time. And Lachey moved early, and Marshall came across. The effect of the noise, perhaps.
Well, that's the second time you can thank the 70,000 for an illegal motion.
False start. Number 79. Offense. A foul prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It is so hard to ask a tackle to watch the ball and also watch movement ahead of him. Watch the lower left side of your screen, number 79. Marshall starts to move, but he's lined up way out in space. He can run down the line of scrimmage. It doesn't matter.
And Lachey cannot hear the signal count. He has his head turned toward the outside, so he can't see the ball.
So all he can go on is Marshall's movement, and he reacts to it.
3rd and 9. Four-man rush. Art Monk, 1st down. He beat Williams. 20-yard gain, and the Redskins keep the ball and keep the clock moving.
Very similar route that they ran trying to get the ball to him in the end zone when Williams was called for defensive holding. It's a half roll. The Redskins call it a dash. Rippon starts to go back, rolls out to the left. All they've done is move the pocket outside. It gives Monk an opportunity to push Williams just 5 yards deeper and then come back. Oh, Mark Rippon's pumped. Yes! Yes! Yes!
Second half, 9 out of 17, 133 yards, and he has come up with some big throws. Irvin. Brought down by Dorsey as he gets to the 32.
I think the Giant defense now has to start thinking, all right, one guy get a hold of Irvin, see if you can keep him up. The other guys try and grab the ball and create the turnover. That's the biggest thing that's haunted the Redskins in the last 6 games that they've lost, is they have made the big turnover. Tonight, they have not made a turnover. That's why they're in control of the game at this point and leading 14-13.
And already within Low Miller's field goal range. The Redskins have reversed the time of possession on the Giants from the first half. 2nd and 5. Irvin's again. This kid has quite a future. Very close to another first down at the 26. Myron Guyton made the tackle. Ricky Irvins has come into the ballgame the last 2 Redskin games in the second half, and he has more than 210 yards rushing in those 2 halves.
He's got 77 tonight on 17 carries.
Giants have used a timeout. Facing 3rd and about a half yard with 2:17 to go in the game. And Ray Handley, who saw his team dominate the Redskins totally in the first half, may see it slipping away right now. Al Groh talking it over with Gary Reason. If you joined us late, Raul Alegre, the new Giant kicker, started off the scoring 3-0. First quarter on a 23-yard field goal, and then Hampton made it 10-0 as he carried 8 straight times on the scoring drive. 13-0 second quarter. Allegre hit again from 36 yards out. The Redskins came back in the third quarter. Gary Clark with a 7-yard touchdown reception. And then Gary Clark on the bomb from Rippon, 54 yards. And that's where we stand with a 1-point Washington lead. And a 3rd and a foot for the Redskins. If they get this one, it could be over.
Well, if they get this one, see, the Giants only have 2 timeouts left, and it's going to be hard for them to get the ball back unless they can force a turnover. Here's another one of their drives. 9 plays, 6 minutes, 17 seconds. The one they had before was 8:55, 20 plays. And the Redskins are a second-half football team. I'm sure Joe Gibbs would like them to become a first-half football team as well.
Riggs is in as the deep man in the eye. He is their short yardage specialist. He gets the carry. First down, Gerald Riggs to the Giants' 24-yard line. And now the clock is going to run down to the 2-minute warning. The Giants will be able to stop it with that, and they will have 2 timeouts left. What a turnaround for the Redskins after being nearly blown out of the stadium in the first half. 2 minutes to go.
Laying 2.5.
2 minutes to go in the ball game, and the Washington Redskins have a first down and a 14-13 lead on the New York Giants. New York with 2 timeouts left. They have to make their defensive stand here. And, Joe, you were talking about time of possession, but how about number of possessions?
Well, there's only been the Redskins. This is the 4th time they've had the ball. The Giants have only had it 3 times, but the Redskins have had it for like 7 minutes in this drive, almost 9 minutes in one before.
And this is the 11th play of this drive. Irvin, room up the middle, gets to the 21-yard line. The middle of that Redskin line, McKenzie, Bostic, and Schlereth have done the job, and Irvins has gained 80 yards. Giants use the timeout. One of the Giants is down. We'll check on it. Looks like Carl Banks, and it is, and it looks like he's going to be able to get up. Have another World Series update coming your way. See, by watching this game, you've missed absolutely nothing. Nothing in the 5th. You were right, again.
I mean, if you've watched the last 3 games of the World Series, you know that these 2 teams are going to take it down to the wire. I mean, they've done it in the other game. This is down to the wire. And you know why I like it in the 7th game? This is like a Super Bowl in the World Series. You get one shot now, and whoever wins this one is the champion.
Primetime will follow our telecast. We'll update you on everything that's gone on in the NFL. Chris Berman and Tom Jackson. And then Sports Center with live reports from the site of the World Series, the Metrodome in Minneapolis. And the Giants, that's Lamar McGriggs, backup defensive back, wondering what has happened to them in the second half. 2nd and 7, 1:52 left. Irvin behind Donnie Warren. Stumbles and got to the 18-yard line. Giants will stop the clock again and bring up a big third down.
Well, that's the big thing is Ray Hanley said it as well as you can say it before this game. He said, they know what we're going to do. We know what they're going to do. There are no mysteries in this game. It's just a question of 2 teams lining up, and the better one's going to come out on top. And in this particular, I mean, the score's 14-13. It's been that close. The Giants dominate the first half. The Redskins dominate the second.
Let me ask you a question about something that Joe Gibbs is doing right now, which I find a little out of character for Joe Gibbs, although you can understand why he's doing it. You've known him for years. You played for him. You're friends with him. He has Ricky Irvins, a rookie, in this game at a critical time the entire second half. Rookies make mistakes like turnovers, and Joe Gibbs has entrusted this entire second half to a rookie.
Well, the reason why is he's like giving a horse his head. If the horse is running well, I don't care if he's a young horse or an older horse, you turn him loose and let him go. He's not put the ball on the ground. He's not slipped. I mean, the reason why he's the number 2 back is because Gerald Riggs has fumbled. The reason why he's in the ball game, I think, is because Ernest Biner has slipped down a couple of times. So what Joe Gibbs is saying, hey, this guy stayed on his feet. It's been positive yardage. Keep on. He's my hot horse. Give it to him.
This is the game right here. 3rd and 4. The Giants with no more timeouts. The first down. They can't stop the clock if the Redskins get it. Irvin. No chance. The Giants stack him up in the middle of the line. Lawrence Taylor on the bottom of the pile. Now the clock will run. The Redskins talking it over on the sideline. Low Miller already ready to come out. They will let it run down as far as they can. It would be a 35-yard attempt from here, and Low Miller has not missed this year from under 40 yards.
And this is important because the Giants are going to get the ball back with about 50 seconds to go. That's when the offense should take the field, between 45 and 50 seconds. Now, you can do a lot with that timing. They have good wide receivers. They're little guys, but they can get into holes, and they're going to have an opportunity to get some points on the board. The question is, are they going to need 7, or are they just going to need 3?
Play clock is at 3, and the Redskins are going to let it run all the way down. Now they stopped it with 1 second. The play clock did tick down to 0, but the Redskins had a timeout before, so they will not back Low Miller up another 5 yards. Low Miller has had quite a year for the Redskins. 14 out of 18. He has only missed from beyond 40 yards. And has hit 2 out of 4 from longer than 50.
He's an interesting guy. 2.5 hours before the game, he's out here practicing field goals. He doesn't kick a lot during the week. He doesn't spend a lot of time on weight work in the off season. What he likes to do is the day of a game, he'll come out and kick 50 to 60 field goals just to get the rhythm, just to get loose. That's really where he gets a lot of his work.
NFC Offensive Player of the Week after the Dallas game. He had field goals of 45, 46, 52, and 53. This from 35 to make it a 4-point lead. And that's what it is. Low Miller drills it, so the New York Giants have 51 seconds, and they need a touchdown. And as Ray Handley put it so succinctly before this game, if we don't beat the Redskins, we can forget the NFC.
If they can't get a touchdown right now, they have to focus on a wild card. They have to look at the remaining 8 games and say, okay, we have to figure out a way to get 10 wins in the next 8 games, or we have to get 6 wins in the next 8 games.
The Giants have been involved in 4 games this year where the game was decided on their last possession. They won 2 of them against Pittsburgh and against San Francisco with Matt Barr field goals. They lost 2. Hostetler threw an interception against Dallas with 1:18 to go in the game, and Barr missed a field goal against Chicago that cost them a victory.
You know, you sit down and realistically say, okay, they go to Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia lost both his quarterbacks today. Phoenix has played him tough. Dallas is improving. Tampa Bay is questionable. Now, there's Cincinnati, you don't know. Philadelphia again. They've got to go to Washington, and then they've got Houston on December 22nd here at Giant Stadium. So, I mean, they have to sit down and realistically say, we could win 8. We have to win at least 6 if we have a shot at a wild card.
Hostetler starting the final drive, 14 out of 19, 137 yards, but he's only thrown the ball 5 times in the second half and completed 2. This will only be the 4th possession of the half for the New York Giants. Hampton at the goal line. Redskins special teams swarm him inside the 15-yard line. And it's been a strong suit for them all year long. Clarence Vaughn made the stop on special teams, backup safety. No timeouts for the Giants. 47 seconds.
I think Hostetler's got to work the ball to his backs till he can get it up into an area where he can make some throws down the field to his wide receivers. He's going to have to work the sideline so he can pick up some big yardage inside.
This is the Giants' worst start of the night. Great timing. Hostetler trying to run, but this won't do them very much good with no timeouts. He's up to the 21. Clock ticking away. Throws incomplete, intended for Ingram up at the 37-yard line. 25 seconds left.
What the Redskins will do is they'll let him complete it anywhere he wants inside the boundaries. They don't mind.
Right.
As long as they can keep him in front of them, they'll make the tackle. You got to figure a good 10 seconds comes off the clock by the time the team resets to the line of scrimmage.
25 seconds left. Hostetler over the middle, tipped up in the air. Wilbur Marshall with his 5th interception. Came into the game tied for the league lead and gets his 5th on a tip ball.
Wilbur Marshall has been the man of big plays for the Washington Redskins. Whether it's sacks, whether it's interceptions, he's one of those guys who now on the ball to make big plays. Right-hand side of your screen, Hostetler makes the throw.
Brad Edwards knocked it loose.
Well, Ingram sort of slowed down and didn't keep coming. Wilbur's playing tap here, and he gives it to Mays. Mays, I think I'll just sit down here. I'm not doing any more with it.
So the Redskins take over with 14 seconds to go. Their record will go to 8-0, the only undefeated team in the league. The Giants, after a 2-game winning streak, will fall to 4-4. And what a mirror image of two halves. Total domination by the Giants in the first half. Total domination by the Redskins in the second half.
The problem is, Mike, if you're going to dominate a half, you'd rather have it be the second half. The fact is, the Redskins put up 2 touchdowns. The Giants were only able to put up 1 and a couple field goals.
Once again, the final score. The Washington Redskins, 17. The New York Giants, 13. For Joe Theismann and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from the Meadow.